Hey and welcome to BoatProjectY. Thank you for joining us as we unveil the secrets behind transforming this extraordinary vessel and discover the hard work, the exceptional craftsmanship and the unyielding spirit of adventure that accompanies every build. Well, hello you lovely people, this is me from the edit room. The audio might seem a bit odd, a bit off this time. That's two reasons to that. I have an enormous cold and I'm not using my regular microphone. You'll have to deal with it for now. I hope this changes quickly because it's neither pleasant for me as it is for you. Let's dive into this episode. Hey and welcome back to Project Y. On this sunlit spot, excellent working conditions. I'm not going to bother you again with another video of me restoring the rips on the inside of the boat. Although I've been doing that every day consistently, grinding, welding, scraping. Maybe I'll show you a little bit though. But there's been small projects going on, little bits and bobs all around the boat. Let me take you up to speed on those. Follow me along. We've never really tackled the starboard side of the cabin, but the time has come to make something beautiful of it too. Trouble is, you can't just go in with an impact hammer like a caffeinated blacksmith, no, because I'm fairly sure that the windows would simply explode into a million pieces. So my father took on the patient tasks of prying loose what could be roughly 2 million rusted screws holding the window frames together. An Olympic level of perseverance. Really nice, Daddy. The rubber seals around the windows are by now also 60 years old and well overdue for replacement. In the process, a few other areas were uncovered too, and if everyone has a good trick to bringing these window frames back to life and making them look respectable again, that wisdom is very welcome in the comments below. Always happy to learn from better ideas. Well, on to job number 2 then. Every day we drag heaps of heavy equipment in and out of the boat. It's bad for your back, it's bad for the morale, and honestly, it's just dangerous. So after a small investment and about an hour of tinkering, we now have a magnificent little winch to hoist our bulky tools on and off the boat. Absolutely delighted with it. Sometimes a small victory feels like you've won the battle. A very different story awaits us in the aft master cabin. That little pipe you see there running beside the bulkhead is a deck drain. It must have completely escaped my attention, or perhaps I'd simply choose not to remember it anymore, both are possible, but when I started poking around the whole fitting, a tiny little hole appeared, which then became a slightly larger hole, which then became one of those holes you cannot longer politely ignore. Hey guys, an alternative to the dog and wedge method that I showed you a couple of episodes ago is to take just an ordinary clamp and take the head off, and now you basically have the same system for like smaller steel work or near edges where it's hard to get the wedge in place. Let's try it out. With the U-clamp welded into place, I can push the new steel outward until it lines up perfectly with the hull, and then weld it in bit by bit, carefully, so I don't dump too much heat into the material. Slow work, but the kind that keeps boats floating. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the World Championships of Coupling Removal. We joined the competition live as our lone athlete approaches the arena for what can only be described as his third and possibly decisive attempt. The first two attempts, as many might remember, ended in bitter disappointment. Attempt 1, defeated by corrosion. Attempt 2, overpowered by 60 years of maritime stubbornness. But today there's a renewed determination. You will now see him prepping carefully, adjusting the hydraulic puller, checking the alignment, adding a generous amount of penetrating oil. A classic pre-match ritual in this discipline.
Haha! We're back with another attempt. So many of you suggested me to use coal instead of heat, or maybe the combination of both. I applaud every comment you guys give me, and I want to try every possible thing to get these couplings off. So let's check it out. So many of you suggested liquid nitrogen, hard to get for me. Dry ice was a possibility, but I'll be using the next best thing, this canned air. If I switch it around, it should give me freezing temperature of minus 50 degrees. Hope this does the trick. I really hope this does the trick. I'm gonna be using twice the firepower now, so let's heat this up.
And notice the calm concentration, almost snooker-like. Very little movement, minimal words, the crowd is holding its breath. He applies heat, bold, aggressive. And now the pool comes under pressure. Look at that torque, look at that form. Years of grinding, hammering, and questionable decision-making have led to this moment. Will it move? Will it finally surrender?
You can't get the compressed air near an open flame, so I had to get rid of those. Now, the moment of truth.
No movement yet, but wait, is that? No, that's false alarm. That was just the operator hallucinating for a second, possibly due to all the fumes. The coupling has gone deep into the defense mode here. Very exciting opponent. Ladies and gentlemen, by now we are witnessing either a historic breakthrough or the controlled demolition of a propulsion system.
Come on. Come on! It's impossible. How could it possibly not crack?
Yes, the coupling remains undefeated. What a brutal contest. But make no mistake, this championship is far from over. We'll meet you back after these messages. And yes, I tried the port side too, with exactly the same amount of success. But I don't want to end this episode on a negative note, so here's a lovely side story. You may remember that the boat once had 2 masts and a boom. Well, on this fine day, we brought them out again because a fantastic wood expert has agreed to cast his knowledgeable eyes over these perhaps still usable masts. Luc is the expert on duty, with years of experience in boat building and especially woodworking in the marine environment. I'm genuinely thrilled he's willing to help us on this project. It's of enormous value to me to get the participation and advice on the condition of the masts and whether they are still salvageable. Luc started removing all the hardware from the masts, and surprisingly that went rather easily. He takes notes, measures everything carefully, and then it becomes a matter of figuring out whether the wood can be reused, whether sections need replacing, or whether the whole mast has to be rebuilt. And of course, what this little joke is going to cost me then. The hardware all looks a bit undersized to actually hang serious sails from. Perhaps it was once served a more decorative purpose. But my idea is still to hang real sails off these masts, even small ones, and then generate some of the propulsion from them. And frankly, because I think it looks absolutely magnificent. And I love nothing more than to be out there with wind in the sails and tinkering endlessly with the sail trim and optimization. I know I'll never sail upwind with this boat, let's not get delusional, but broad reaches and downwind adventures should absolutely be possible. The masts themselves are surprisingly simple in construction, built with very little sophistication and glued together with a rather rudimental adhesive, which are, mind you, also 60 years old. From a distance they actually look in pretty good shape, but once you get in closer, look deeper and inspect more carefully, there's quite a bit of rot hiding in there. The plan now is for Luc to assess their condition and taking all the measurements to put his knowledge and contacts to work and figure out whether repairing the mast is financially realistic or whether I need to start looking for 6.5 meter long planks in the right timber species and prepare to lay serious cash on the table. Exciting times are ahead. But It's a wonderful thing to surround yourself with people who have knowledge, craftsmanship and enthusiasm to help bring a mad boat building project like this to a good end. Thank you everyone for helping. Thank you everyone for leaving comments to my videos. Together we're making something beautiful out of this old lady.